Chris, congratulations on making it to the Western Conference Finals, and just wanted to ask about your performance and how good it was feeling, and then afterwards the sharing so many hugs and emotions, all your teammates, Coach Malone, family, the whole bit. Just maybe summarize the whole night for you.
Yeah, I ain't really had a chance to process it yet. It's a lot of people on that team that I'm close to. Mike Malone is one of my favorite people in the world. Ryan Bowen, assistant coach for them, was a teammate of mine in New Orleans, and to have my family here, always means a lot.
Next up is Cam Cox with 12 News, followed by Greg Moore.
Hey, Chris, what was that moment like with Monty after the game? He talked about kind of enjoying kind of the end of the game with you when he wrapped his arm around you. Just what was that like to share that with him after kind of everything you guys have been through? It's been a long road for you to get to this point.
Man, it's emotional. Mont has been through things in his life, that a lot of people don't necessarily come back from. The mental stamina, who he is as a person. Basketball aside, he means so much to me and my family. So to be on this journey with him and to see it paying off is nice. And we're a lot alike. We stay locked in. Like, I don't feel good until the buzzer sounds, and Mont's the same way. So, when the series is over and the game is over, it's nice to share those moments.
Next up is Greg Moore with the Arizona Republic, followed by Melissa Rowland.
Chris, congratulations on the win, man.
Thank you.
Greg Moore, Arizona Republic. Hey, man, can you tell me about that fake spin, pass, backspin? You're coming down the lane, it's about 5 minutes, 30 seconds left in the third quarter, and you give him that fake pass, and it bounces right back up to you. How did you develop that move, and what's the key to doing it?
I started that back in like 2007 when they tried to switch the balls on us, when they tried to switch the basketballs on us, and it was like a different material. If I could like throw that basketball way out and make it snap and come back to me. And so then when we switched back to the regular basketballs, it just, with me, I'm obviously not 6'5", 6'6", not the most athletic or whatnot, so I've always had to, develop my ball handling and things like this to keep guys off balance.
Thank you.
No problem.
Next up is Melissa Rowland with Fox Sports, followed by Tim Reynolds.
Hey, Chris. Monty just told us that you were there for him in the darkest moment of his life, and you were also there for him in one of the greatest moments of his career. What has he meant to you?
Man, everything. Everything. I got a chance to play for Mont that 1 year in New Orleans, and it was a special season. I got some of my greatest relationships with guys off of playing that 1 year for him, and I don't know. Like, sometimes you have coaches that are just coaches, but sometimes you have relationships that last a lifetime. Mike Malone was on that staff when I played for Monty, and Monty is a lot more than a basketball coach, so I appreciate him.
Next up is Tim Reynolds with the Associated Press, followed by Mark Schwartz.
Chris, congrats on the sweep. I hope this isn't too simplistic, but your legacy is secure, your place in history is secure, you're going to end up in Springfield. We all know that. Is it just the one thing at the end that still drives you, or how do you still what still brings you to these places where you can pull 37 out of your hat in game 4 at 36 years old of a closeout game? Like, what is still the motivation to be this guy for you?
Competition. Like, I don't really play for anybody else or whatnot. I play for my team. Me and Ann, my tissue lady, lightweight, my therapist, who always working on me, and I talk to all the time about it. Like, I wasn't this phenom. I wasn't necessarily supposed to be here. I played 2 years of JV basketball. It ain't always been, sweet for me. I've always had to grind, and I like that mentality. And that's always been who I've been, and I'm gonna stay that way. If you like it, cool. If you don't, it's cool too.
Next up is Mark Schwartz from ESPN, followed by Kellen Olson.
Chris, congratulations on the win. You touched about 10 minutes ago with Chris on the court about how people wrote you off just a few years ago. What was that feeling like, and how has it fueled you to do what you're doing on the court right now and playing some of the best basketball that we've ever seen you play at the age of 36?
It was cool. You know, I always say this, I know who I am. I know the type of work that I put in, and I'm grateful for my team around me, like my family, my chef, Aaron, Ann, switching over to DBC, and Donnie and Dave and everybody there at DBC, man. I got an unbelievable team, and then all you gotta do is do the work. You know what I mean? Put the work in, and it's exciting, and it's nice to be with a team that everybody has the same mindset.
Next up is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by Jovan Buha.
Hey, Chris, I saw you were able to say hi to your family after the game, but also Devin's. Devin couldn't stop smiling when he was talking about seeing the smiles on his family's face. So what is it like for you to see him have these types of moments for the first time in his career that you've had so many times already?
Yeah, but it ain't so many times. You know, it's my second time in the Western Conference Finals, so it's dope, and we still got a long ways to go. But you know, to see his brother right there, I think his mom and his sister was here, Dad was here at the last game. They just like my family been here. You know, they've been with you along this entire journey, and they've seen the work that Book has put in and year out, and to see it paying off, I'm happy for him.
Next up is Jovan Buha with the Athletic, followed by Anthony Slater.
Hey, Chris. You guys were sixth in the regular season in defense rating. You've jumped up to second in the postseason. I'm curious, what type of growth have you seen defensively from the group over the postseason?
Man, a lot of growth. Like I said, it's a shout out to our coaches. We prepared every game. Win or lose. One thing we won't be underprepared, and just the attention to detail. You know, we have slip-ups here and there, but the signs of a good team is when you can lock in defensively, and that's where we try to hang our hat.
Next up is Anthony Slater with the Athletic, followed by Catherine Fitzgerald.
Chris, at one point tonight, you hit 9 straight mid-range jumpers. How much was the shoulder bothering that mid-range in the Lakers series? When did it start feeling better, and when did you feel like you kind of got the touch back on that mid-range?
I'm good now.
Yeah.
I'm good now. I don't even remember. I'm good now.
How much did it affect your mid-range when it was bothering you?
I don't know. We got through that series, but we good now.
Next up is Catherine Fitzgerald with the Arizona Republic, followed by Richard Sands.
Chris, you've touched on so many different emotional levels to tonight with the sweep, getting back to the conference finals, Monty, Book, your relationships there. Is there one emotion that stands out to you the most, or how do you process kind of all those different storylines happening?
I don't know. You just try to stay in the moment. My teammates would tell you it was 18 seconds on the clock. I was still on their ass. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way I am. Monty always talks about playoff games and the heartbreaks that you can have, and I've been a part of those heartbreaks, right? So, you know, I'm not comfortable until the clock says zero on it. So a lot of things, haven't really had time to process it, but you know, I'm gonna get on the bus and first and foremost call my kids.
Our last question of the night is going to be with Richard Sands with 12 News.
I like that. That could be a close.
Yeah, Chris, congrats on your first ever sweep. You know, Devin talked about, you know, how big you've been for him and how much you and Monty have meant to him. How about him to you? How big has he been in this run, getting you back to the Western Conference Finals? How nice has it been for you to kind of get him on this stage and let the rest of the nation see what we have already known here in Phoenix for a while, that Devin Booker's a special talent?
I say it all the time, man. If I don't know nothing else, I know basketball. You know, so when I saw that Phoenix was an opportunity to come play here, I knew what we'd be capable of because I know Book and I know how he competes and the energy that he plays with. It's just dope to see everything that's come together since, the trade happened. The day after I got traded, we was in the gym working together. And I think that says a lot about why we are where we are right now. It's trust.
Okay. Jay, congratulations on getting to the Western Conference Finals after you already been to the Eastern Conference Finals the year before. Just wanted to ask just about seeing Chris Paul and him doing what he does, but maybe going to an even higher level in this game tonight.
Closeout game, you could definitely feel the intensity of the game, and you could tell our intensity as a group. But he definitely led us in that aspect of just being able to play within a lot of. It's a closeout game, so it's a lot of emotions, a lot of guys who want it. So he just did a good job of calming us down when we got a little sped up a little bit, and I think he managed the game, the entirety of the game. So he did what Chris Paul does, and that's point guard, whatever you want to call him. He controlled the game, the entire game.
Next up is Cam Cox from 12 News, followed by Greg Moore.
Hey, Jay, congratulations on the series sweep. Can you just speak to what this team has been able to accomplish, especially in this series, to move on? I mean, how impressive, you've been on a lot of teams, championship teams before, just how impressive is what this team is doing right now?
I mean, it's very impressive how locked in we are as a unit. I mean, all 5 guys on the court are on the same page at all times, and I think that's key. We have great leadership. We have great coaching who's putting us in position to succeed right now. And I think guys are doing a good job of just doing their work early, studying what they need to study, and come out being prepared each and every game. And that's all you can ask from especially our young guys who this is their first time being in the playoffs. So I definitely feel like we're connected as a group, and it shows, especially when the game gets tight. We have full faith in one another to make the right play. I mean, I think we're just playing the right way and playing free, playing for one another.
Next up is Greg Moore from the Arizona Republic, followed by Jovan Buha.
Hey, Jay, what's up, man? Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Listen, you were in the middle of that scrum with Jokic, and we've been talking all season long about poise, especially with the Lakers series and all. I'm trying to figure out what it feels like to be in a moment that's that intense, and you're trying to actually keep things cool without escalating things. Tell me about what that feels like to be in that scrum.
I mean, it's basketball. You have little scrums when you grow up a little bit. It's just not on the stage of the NBA. So just emotions running high. I mean, I'm sure no one was trying to do anything intentional. Just emotions got the best of us. I mean, I think I just came in and tried to just diffuse the situation a little bit, because I know I have the utmost respect for Joker, and I think Book was just protecting Cam. I didn't see the play, so it caught me off guard when I saw the scrum. I just ran late trying to protect my teammates, and that's all. But that's what you expect out of the playoffs. It's just a lot of emotions from both sides of the ball, and you just try to manage that as best possible and have your teammates back.
Next up is Jovan Buha with The Athletic, followed by Tim Reynolds.
Hey, Jay, you guys have gone from 6th in defensive rating in the regular season to 2nd in the postseason. I'm curious, what type of progress or growth have you seen in the defense from going from an already elite one to basically the best or second best in the league right now?
Yeah, I think we just came into the postseason and we just tightened up our screws a little bit with the stuff that we've been doing all year long. We just want to do it at a higher level. I just think that the playoffs brought that out of us. We've been put to the test with some challenges, but we've overcame them, and we've been playing some good offensive teams. And these past 2 series, I mean, you could look at the 2 teams that have offensive power. So we've done a good job of just sticking to the game plan, talking it out, watching film, and coming up with a game plan with our coaches, and then going on the court and applying it. So I just feel like it goes back to our connectivity, us all being on the same page and fighting for the same goal. And I just feel like it has paid off this postseason, and we got to continue to do that to get to where we want to be.
Next up is Tim Reynolds with Associated Press, followed by Kirsten Susel.
Hey, Jay, congrats on going back to the conference finals. I wanted to ask you, it's kind of in 2 parts. The bubble experience last year, even for a seasoned pro like you, what did that do as far as your growth? And for the kids that are on your team now, those kids that went 8-0 in the bubble last year, how much do you think that set the tone for what you guys are trying to accomplish now?
I mean, I think that helped, for sure. That helped a lot. The bubble, I mean, mentally it was a challenge for me. It wasn't so much of the game of basketball. It was just the mental part of being away from family, being in a restricted area for myself, 96 days. I spent 96 days in there playing the last final game. And it just got to be tough mentally a little bit. But other than that, it definitely helped me grow. It helped me lock in on my game a little bit. I was able to go to the gym, multiple times throughout the day because I just felt like it was the only thing to keep my mind where it needs to be, keep me in my sanity. So I just felt like the bubble helped growth and with my mental, and I think for our younger guys here, it just prepared us for this moment a little bit because these guys were hungry to be in the playoffs last year. It fell short a little bit. A couple of guys came over with me and myself and Chris, and we got Torrey Craig. We got a couple of guys, and we were able to put something special together. And I feel like what they wanted last year, falling short of the goal, definitely helped us in this moment and to try to continue to win games in the playoffs once we got our foot in the playoff door. So I think each guy on our team we want it. We want to be in that moment, the big moment, and we want to come out on top. So we're putting the work in each and every day to just try to come out on top.
Our last two questions are going to be with Kirsten Susel from 12 News, followed by Cody Cunningham.
Hey, Jay, kind of a similar question. I remember talking to you when you first got to Phoenix and talking about your journey to get here and everything you've been through in your career. And, you know, you making the decision to come here based on the belief of where this team could go. And now you guys are making the run in the postseason. What's this ride been like for you?
I look like a genius, huh? I know I look like a genius a little bit with my decision. When I made the decision, you should have saw how many text messages I got. Like, what am I doing? Why are you going to Phoenix? They haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. I just feel like I just knew what type of group these guys were. I felt like they were hungry. They wanted to do some special things, and I just want to be a part of it. And I honestly feel like it's all coming together for not only myself, but for our team and for our organization because everybody on the same page. We're all fighting for the same goal. I mean, you got a lot of selfless guys on our team, and you see how we play each and every night. We play for one another, and it's definitely beneficial for us to win games, especially in the postseason. So the bubble, I think I'm happy it happened, obviously, especially for this group to just have some type of taste of success leading up into this year. So to keep us going, I feel like it's going to be beneficial for us to just stay together and be collective, locked in, and taking one game at a time.
Our last question is with Cody Cunningham with Suns.com.
Hey, Jay. With about 3 minutes left in the game, Mikal made an off-bounds save, diving out of bounds, and he was able to find Chris for the fast break, and that put you guys up by 11. Just how critical are those little hustle plays that lead to the overall victory?
I mean, we talk about it all the time. We talk about 50-50 balls and little things that lead up to the big things, and that's W. So it's definitely on our conscience to lock in on the little things, the small aspects of the game, diving on the floor, wanting more than the other team, 50-50 balls, helping your teammate. And those things we talk about on a daily basis. So it's no coincidence that you saw that Kel did that, and it was definitely a good momentum swing for us. But we definitely talk about that. We come into the game, we try to win that stat against the opposing team because that ultimately leads to victories, especially on the road in a closeout game.
Devin, congrats on the win. Congrats on advancing. After that run in the bubble, Monty Williams, looked at you and said, you've been through a lot, and you have been through a lot. Suns fans have been through a lot with you. What's it like to finally get to this stage with the franchise that drafted you and the fans that have been with you since day one?
Yeah, I mean, it's a feeling that's, kind of hard to put to words. You always reflect, after a game like this, or after you close this series out, you sit back and reflect a little bit and think about what you just talked about, what we've been through as an organization and as a team. And even the short time that Monty's been here, just, watching the culture develop and watching, players get better every day and people put their hard hats on and come in and work every day. So, it's a beautiful sight to see hard work pay off.
Next up is Cameron Cox with 12 News, and then Dwayne Rankin.
Brooke, what were the emotions after the game with the guys in the locker room, knowing you guys were able to advance in this series?
We were hyped, man. Chris was saying before the game, he ain't never swept somebody. He ain't never beat anybody 4-0. And I don't know when the last time the Suns have been to the Western Conference Finals, but, tonight is one of them nights that, we celebrate in-house, and then, we wake up tomorrow and, we're on to either the Clippers or Utah, just paying attention to those games.
Next up is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, and then Mark Schwartz.
Well, Devin, the last time was 2010, which was the last time the Suns made the playoffs. So
Western Conference Finals.
yeah, Western Conference Finals the last
Okay,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, it played the Lakers, played Kobe and the
Mhm.
Lakers. Wanted to ask you though, just about you approaching Jokic. Was that a situation? Hey, look, I didn't like what I saw right there, and I got to stand up for my guy.
Yeah, that's all I said. Just what are you doing? I mean, I think, it was just an emotional play. I don't think he meant harm by it after, but just a frustration foul. But it was tough just defending my teammate. That was it. But I seen him go up to Cam after and apologize. And I've played against the Joker multiple times. I know he's not a malicious player.
Next is Mark Schwartz with ESPN, and then Kellen Olson.
Book, two-part question about Chris. First of all, what has he meant to you as a player and as a person? And secondly, how did he put his stamp on this series and bring you home in a sweep?
I mean, it's hard, to just narrow it down on, how he's helped me. You can go on the court, off the court, but what most comes to my mind at first is just how he carries himself as a true veteran in this league and a true professional. I said it after last game, just his approach to the game, the way he trains, the way he takes care of his body, his diet, his sleep regimen. So there's many things, there's many bits and pieces that he'll come to me and talk about a lot, but I just sit back and observe him at the same time and learn that way. So I'm not the only person that will be saying this. I'm sure you can ask anybody on this team, how has Chris developed your game? And everybody's going to have a lengthy answer because he cares about each and every individual, and he'll let you know when he sees something that can better you.
We're going to have Chris Paul available in the locker room. Next up is going to be Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by Nick King.
Hey, Book, saw you were able to celebrate with your family here at the game and Chris's as well. I believe Chris gave your dad a big hug after too. Just what was it like to have your family here for this moment?
Yeah, man, it's unbelievable feeling. That I always tell people that's my why. That's the reason I play the game, and to see the excitement on my sister's face, see the excitement on my mother's face, and my brother. So we've been through a lot as a family, and they love to watch me succeed, and anytime I can put a smile on their face, there's no feeling like it for real. So that's what keeps me going.
Next is Nick King with Channel 3, Channel 5, and then Gina Mizell.
Devin, you also had a moment with Monty on right before you left the court. What was that couple of seconds like for you? He had a pretty big smile on his face, which we don't often see.
Yeah, like I said, it's the time that we celebrate, man. We put a lot of work in, and I think as a group, as a unit, from top to bottom, coaching staff to trainers to the doctors, everybody. This is the time to celebrate what we did. But we wake up tomorrow and we're on to the next goal.
Next is Gina Mizell with Suns.com, and then Jovan Buha.
Hey, Book, I know you guys expected Denver to keep fighting in this series, and especially once Jokic went out of the game, but just what was the key tonight to withstanding every time they kind of made a push? You guys never let it, get too tight or just always seem to have an answer.
I mean, we've been there before. We prepared ourselves, for those moments. I recall it, before every game, you hear us come together as a team and say they're going to go on a run at some point. That's when we stick together even more. That's when we bring it together even more. That's when we communicate even more. And that was the name of the game. They came back, they gave us their best shot in the fourth, and we just kept playing through. Kept fighting, relied on our defense. We understand that we can score. We can score, with the best of them in very different types of ways, and we punish teams for different coverages, but what we have to rely on is our defense, and that when we lock in, that's where it's at.
Next up is Jovan Buha with The Athletic, followed by Kent Somers.
Hey, Book, you just mentioned the defense, and you guys were sixth in defensive rating in the regular season. You've jumped up to second in the postseason. I'm curious where you've seen the biggest growth or progress as a group defensively in the playoffs.
I mean, our goal at the beginning of the season was to be top 5 in both categories, offense and defense. But Our improvement, I think it's just our our communication, one, our versatility, DeAndre protecting the paint, and they used to have some competitive wings, that can switch a lot of actions, guard a lot of different types of players. Jay Crowder being the grit, of that. Mikal, taking on, any top scorer in the league every night. He's been doing that all season. So, we just trust it. We trust it, and we play together, and we talk it out together, and we hold each other accountable.
Got time for three more. Next up is going to be Kent Somers with the Arizona Republic, and then Evan Sidery.
Speaking of defense, it did at times tonight. It didn't look as maybe locked down as it has been the last 4 or 5 games. I don't know if you felt that, and if so, what carried you guys through those times?
Just, I'd say communication, holding each other accountable. We know when we're not playing the type of defense that we need to be playing. So we communicate that amongst each other, and we tell each other it's time to lock in. And that's what we do. But, we've seen a kind of a different style of offense, once Jokic went out, and having JaVale, picking and rolling to the rim. So the other 3 games, our whole defense was honestly to cut the head off the snake and guard Jokic. So once he was out, I think it opened up a lot of opportunities for them.
Final 2 questions are going to be Evan Sidery with Forbes and Dwayne Rankin.
Book, just over 2 years ago now, Monty was hired as the head coach. Did you ever expect to be in this position so quickly on the cusp of potentially an NBA Finals berth if you make it through the next round?
I didn't not expect it, to be honest. I'd never go into the season saying we can't make it there, we can't do it. We have the culture here, we have the talent in the locker room, especially with the additions that we made this offseason too. I think that's where we're supposed to be. We wanted to finish the regular season with the best record in the league. We fell a little short of that. So we just keep playing through. And we have other goals in mind, that we're trying to get to.
Final question is going to be Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Devin, before the playoffs started, Jay Crowder was saying that he was glad that you were about to start playing meaningful basketball. What's it been like playing meaningful basketball that's got you to the Western Conference Finals?
Feels great. It's hard to put it in words, but this is what I've trained for. This is what I've prepared for. I don't work out in the summer, thinking that my season's going to be over after 82 games. So I put myself in a mental space where every shot counts. I try to vision the physicality even when I'm out there by myself. So every time I train, every time I work out, I'm thinking postseason, or I'm thinking these types of games right here.